Good morning and aloha from Oahu, guys. Thanks for tuning in. We got just under 2 weeks on the island here, so gonna do a little bit of exploring. We actually had about 13-14 days, but we had a bad experience with our initial Airbnb. So all day yesterday, we were trying to get a refund. I was on the phone with Airbnb constantly and talking with the owner, who was reluctant to give us our money back, but eventually it worked out. We ended up finding a new hotel in a decent location, and today's our first day really relaxing. So right now I'm standing in Fort Durussi Beach Park. There's actually a sandy beach right behind me here, pretty much adjacent to Waikiki Beach. So we're gonna hang out here for a few hours, go get a bite to eat, just explore around the local area. And I think tonight we're gonna head to Moana Shopping Center, which is the largest outdoor shopping center supposedly in the world. So we'll have a peek at that. And just in general, take it easy. I don't think we're going to do any distant exploring for the next day or so anyways. So I'll keep you guys posted and we'll see what this area has to offer. We had our first swim at Fort Durussi Beach Park, then began making our way down the shoreline toward the far end of Waikiki. Tucked within the beachfront hotels, you'll find no shortage of small restaurants, cafes, and shops to explore as you wander along the sand and pathways. This street we're on right now, I'm gonna butcher the name, but Hale'iwa maybe, is super nice. Really good atmosphere, a lot of high-end stores. The weather's beautiful, a lot of open air type shops, busy place, really nice area to walk around. Definitely recommend checking it out, especially if you're a shopaholic, probably the right spot for you. This area just has so many stores, it's ridiculous. The Royal Hawaiian Center was just full of different shops. Now I'm in this place called the International Market. It says it has 100 stores and restaurants, and then the street in general just packed. So you could just spend an entire day probably in this area roaming around and still not see everything. If you think that the shopping malls in Canada have a lot to see, this is much, much more. So just behind that street, there's another street called Kualoa, also full of stores, and this is where the Waikiki Market is. So we finally made it here. We're gonna go in and check it out. So we actually popped into a couple of grocery stores yesterday, just smaller ones, and this one is just huge in comparison. Definitely offers a lot more. I saw some prices that maybe were a bit expensive, and then other things that look a bit cheaper. But the selection is not comparable, so definitely a good spot to come and get some groceries if you're staying in a place with a kitchen, or if you make your own breakfasts like we do. Come get some fresh fruit. They've got a good selection of pre-cooked foods there as well, so some flatbread, some desserts, and a salad bar. So yeah, good spot to pop in. Even if you're at the beach, you're just a couple streets over, you can come here and get some food, have a bite, sit, do some shopping, and head back to the beach, right? Why not? So for lunch, I grabbed just a couple slices of the focaccia pizza. Kate's got a North Shore bowl, which is nice, full of seafood and looks like rice and veggies, and it's all heated up nicely. And a couple of donuts for dessert. Malasadas, they're called, so haven't tried one, but they look good. We're just sitting here on the outdoor patio they have, so it's really nice. Right alongside the street, as you can see. Fresh air, nice music, good vibes. We're gonna eat and then just head back down to the beach and relax. Lunch was good. I'm feeling full and fat right now. Definitely too much dough, but when you put pizza in front of me, what can I do? Price-wise, between the two of us for the two meals and the donuts, it was just a touch under $25 US. So that was about less than half of what we spent yesterday for lunch, so it's good to budget a little bit where we can. Anyways, we are now at the Waikiki Beach, and it is busy. Lots of people. So being one of the main beaches in this area, it is just packed, and it's busy like this every day from what I hear. Even though it's so busy though, there's a lot of different spaces where you can fit a towel and sit down, grab your own little spot, but definitely not a private beach. So Waikiki Beach is this area over here, and then I think from there kind of over, this is considered Kualoa Beach. And as you can see, there's a breakwater that protects it, so the water's super calm. So if you've got little kids or you're not a strong swimmer, that might be a place that you want to come and hang out. There's also a lot more sand space there. It doesn't have the same kind of scenic vibe, I think, because of this breakwater, but if you're worried about strong currents, then whatever, right? And then on this side, it continues without a breakwater. As you get towards the end of the beach, there are a lot more trees, so if you're looking for some shade, it's probably a good area. You'll also start to see the Diamond Head Crater, which we'll go and see another one of these days. There's a hike there that you can do, so it's on the list. And but yeah, right now I think we're gonna go and take another dip in the water, relax another couple hours before heading back to the hotel and getting ready to go check out the Moana shopping center. So it's about 7:15 in the evening right now. We just arrived at the Moana shopping center. You can see the chart behind me. It's just so many stores. It's supposedly the biggest outdoor shopping area in the world. I'm not sure if that's true or not, but it's just enormous. So let's go in and take a look. They close at 8, so I'm not going to be able to show you too much, but we'll see what we can. Before we go, there is one more food store in the same shopping area. It's called Foodland Farms. So we're going to go take a look at that and see if they have any good fruits and stuff for breakfast. And then we're going to head home, head back to the hotel for the night. We're getting out of here. Very nice grocery store, probably the biggest selection that we've seen so far, hey Kate?
Yeah.
But okay prices, I would say not great. Again, coming from Canada, just feel poor. Didn't pay attention if a lot of it was organic. I'm not sure it was, but I think it is a lot of local produce, so that's cool. Definitely good selection. Check it out.
The next morning, we headed to the airport to pick up our rental, a Kia Soul. The first one they gave us had very bald tires, but they swapped it out for another that was slightly better. Aside from the well-worn rubber, it turned out to be a great little car for getting around the island. The booking process, though, was a frustrating waste of a morning. I'll talk more about that, along with some parking tips at the end of the video, so stick around if you're curious.
Costco is like one of my favorite stores, my go-to store to do all my shopping. I love being able to do all my shopping in one place, buy large quantities and get good prices. So obviously, being that there's Costco here, I had to check it out. We're here right now, and let's go in and take a look.
Aside from the food court being outdoors, the rest of the warehouse felt just like any other Costco. Prices were similar to Canada's, but in US dollars. So with the exchange rate, it ended up being more expensive. They did have a few unique items that I hadn't seen back home, like an organic aged bourbon maple syrup. Something I'd never even heard of before. Since we were in Hawaii, I was hoping for a good selection of local tropical fruit, but it was mostly the usual imports. Apples, oranges, pears, pomegranates, bananas. No mangoes, no papayas, not even pineapples, which was a bit disappointing. One major difference from the Canadian Costco's, though, was the open sale of alcohol. Shelves were just lined with wine and liquor.
So for dinner tonight, I picked up a roasted chicken. The other day we got some bowls and cutlery from Walmart for our breakfasts. also for lunches or dinners or whatever. So we also picked up a mixed salad, or cherry tomatoes, pure juice, apple, lemon, ginger, and beet. So good. This will be for the next couple days. We also picked up the organic Hawaiian noni. We have noni idea what this is. Anyways, it's supposed to be a superfood beverage, so pretty excited to try that out. Always looking to try out new things. Some avocados. Manchego cheap cheese is the best cheese there is. That's not necessarily for today, but we've got some crackers as well, so good for snacks for the next few days. Bananas, even though we've already got like 10 in the fridge. And macadamia nuts, because you can't come to Hawaii and not buy some macadamia nuts. This bag is just over half a kilo, and it was $18 US. Whereas if you try and buy macadamia nuts in the shop around here, they're charging $13 for like 200 grams or something like that. So Costco is definitely cheaper.
Waikiki has a completely different atmosphere at night. The beaches empty out and the streets come alive with people. Visitors stroll along the sidewalks, browse shops, and gather at restaurants to enjoy dinner under the glow of the city lights. Street performers add to the lively energy, entertaining crowds with music and acts on nearly every corner.
Good morning. It's just after 7:30. We're heading today to check out the Aloha Stadium. They have like a swap meter market there. It's supposed to have the best prices on like fruits and souvenirs and stuff like that you'll see at most shops around here. So gonna go check that out, and after that we've got some beach chairs and an umbrella from the hotel. We're gonna go find a new beach, hang out for the afternoon. So we'll show you what it's like when we get there.
The drive from Waikiki to the Aloha Stadium takes approximately 30 minutes depending on traffic and the time of the day. There's a manned entrance where you'll need to pay a $2 per person entrance fee. Parking seemed full at first, but towards the end of the lot there are plenty of open spaces.
So we just arrived here at the Aloha Stadium Market, or swap meet I think it's called. It's supposed to be one of the larger vendor events that happen I think 3 times a week. So I believe Wednesday, Saturday, and Sunday. We're here on a Wednesday. They open at 8. I think it's just after 8:30 right now. So hopefully we get some good pickings of what they have to offer. I've heard that a lot of the fruits and stuff can disappear quite fast in the morning. So good to come in the morning. And I think being Wednesday, there's probably a lot of people working. So it's also probably a good choice to come on a weekday, right? That's our thoughts anyways. We're gonna go find out right now. Kiwi and Chewy.
Yeah.
Hi. We just found a stand that was selling some fruits. They have a coconut there. The coconut they were selling for $12. That's almost $18 Canadian. We were paying less than $3 for a huge coconut when we were in Indonesia. So just crazy. And so far the other fruits we found here are actually more expensive than what we've seen in the grocery stores. So $10 for a small plastic container of chopped fruit. And even on the Waikiki Strip we found some people selling plastic containers with like 1 guava, 1 star fruit for only $5. So far prices for fruit here, and there's only been 2 or 3 stands with fruit. It's a lot more expensive. So the other things like the tourist gifts we've seen have been cheaper, like 4 t-shirts for $20, kukui shell Lays for I think $4 a piece or 3 for $10, whereas in Waikiki they were $7 each. So some things are cheaper, but fruit so far definitely not. So it's 11 o'clock. We've been here just a couple hours. We did the full up and down of the whole market. There's actually not a lot of fruit, so I'm not sure if it's an off season here for it, but the stuff we did find was super expensive until we came across one stand where a guy was selling stuff for a decent price. We actually got 3 papayas for $5, 5 or 6 star fruit for $2, and a big pineapple for $5 as well. So $12 for a bunch of fruit, whereas we saw somebody selling one coconut for $12, so it's pretty good. Anyways, it's getting super busy here now. It's definitely multiplied. We're putting the fruit in the car. We're gonna grab a bite to eat. They have some like grilled stuff here. I think I'll grab a couple skewers, and then we're gonna head up the island and check out some beaches. The plan is to go up to Makua Beach, I believe it's called, but we're gonna stop at different places along the way and just see where the road takes us. These guys are just making a killing here today. Every skewer at $6.50, every bowl of rice or noodles at $12, and the lineup is just non-stop. So we grabbed a pork skewer, can't remember which kind it was, and pad thai for $18.50. So the skewer is $6.50, the pad thai is $12. So not a huge portion for the price, but so this is Makua Beach, pretty nice sandy area, probably at least a kilometer long, I would say. Not too many people. I think it's a good favorite spot for locals from what I've read. A little bit of parking on both ends of the beach, so that's nice. This is kind of up the west side of the island, so as we were driving up the west side of the island, we thought, oh, we're gonna stop at a bunch of different beaches, but actually it seems like there's quite a lot of homeless people. There's a couple campsites they're calling it, but a lot of it didn't look very nice either. So I'm not sure there's a lot of beach areas that you're going to want to stop at on the west coast, but this one looks really nice. But you're also supposed to be able to see like dolphins at certain times of the year in this area. Like pods will come and start jumping around and swimming. The water is fairly calm here. It looks like a good area to swim. Looks pretty clear. So I think we're gonna hang out, maybe eat a papaya, have a swim, spend an hour here, and be on our way. So it also said that this is a high break-in area. So the fact that they're posting signs like that, and I've read about it online as well, you wanna make sure you don't keep stuff in the car, or at least not visible, right? So, but the parking, as you can see, is kind of right behind the beach here behind me. So if you stay in certain areas, you'd be right by the car the whole time.
Makua Beach is big and beautiful, but there are 2 things to consider before you go. There are no bathrooms and very little areas with shade, so it's a good idea to bring an umbrella if you go. We spent about an hour or so here before heading back down the island.
Right now we're at Makaha Beach, which is just a few kilometers before Makua Beach, and there's a lot more people here. Not tons, not like Waikiki, but Makua Beach was empty, whereas here there's at least a handful of people. And across the street here there's also an outdoor shower you can rinse off after, and there's some washrooms. There's a little bit of a current, but I can't say it was crazy. We didn't go out deep, but people are in and they're near the shore and it's manageable.
After enjoying some time at Makaha, we hit the road back to Waikiki for dinner. The next morning, we made our way to the east side of the island, heading towards Lanikai Beach. A quick, scenic 30-minute drive. The roads are well maintained, winding through lush valleys and dramatic mountain tunnels that separate the island's urban core from its more tranquil, windward coast. The neighborhood around Lanikai is quiet, upscale, and lined with beautiful, luxurious homes. While there are a few parking spots directly across from the beach, space is extremely limited and fills up quickly. Multiple beach access paths are clearly marked between the homes, making it easy to find your way to the shoreline. The beach itself is stunning. Soft, clean sand stretches along the shore, and the water is calm and easy to access. While the sandy bottom makes for comfortable swimming, there are also plenty of coral patches, making Lanikai a great spot for snorkeling, with a good chance of seeing fish and even sea turtles. Just two things to keep in mind. This side of the island can be quite windy, which sometimes makes it feel cooler than expected. And there are no restrooms at Lanikai Beach, though facilities are available nearby at Kailua Beach Park. After a relaxing beach morning, we hit the road and drove about 30 minutes north to the Byodo-In Temple. The entrance takes you through a beautifully kept cemetery with a dramatic, almost otherworldly backdrop of Jurassic Park-like mountain peaks. Admission is $5 for adults, $4 for seniors, and only $2 for children. The Byodo-In Temple is a non-practicing Buddhist temple built in 1968 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of the first Japanese immigrants to Hawaii. It's a smaller scale replica of the 950-year-old Byodo-In Temple in Uji, Japan, a UNESCO World Heritage Site. As you enter the grounds, you'll find a massive sacred bell, which visitors are invited to ring before stepping into the temple. A gesture said to bring peace and mindfulness. Surrounding the temple are large koi ponds and beautifully manicured gardens, with the temple itself showcasing classic Japanese Buddhist architecture. Inside sits a golden statue of Amida Buddha, where visitors can pause to pray or light incense. The grounds are peaceful and scenic, with a small variety of tropical plants and blooming flowers. We also spotted a curious peacock roaming freely, along with small birds that can be hand-fed using seed from the on-site gift shop. For dinner that night, we made a quick stop back in Kailua at Windward Mall, where we grabbed a delicious bowl of ramen from Nude's Ramen Bar, located in the mall's food court. It was a casual spot, but the flavors hit the mark after a full day of exploring.
So this morning we're going to try the Wiliwilinui Ridge Trail hike. It's supposed to be 2.5 to 3 hours in and out, with quite a steep section at the end we've read. So we'll see how it goes. The GPS, Google Maps got us here super easy. It's in a gated community, so when you arrive, you're going to go up the mountain. Eventually you'll run into a gate where there's a guard. There's a couple signs about the hike. Anyways, we just said we're here to get a parking pass to do the Wiliwilinui hike. He took our license plate down and gave us this card, this laminated card. It's got a map on the back, which basically shows you the route that the GPS was showing us, with a little bit of information about overflow parking and the regular parking spots. So we stopped in the overflow parking because I saw a spot right away. Didn't want to risk pulling up to the other one and having it taken. So you put this in the window, displayed in the window so that you don't get towed. If you do park in another area, you will get towed supposedly. So anyways, let's go check it out. The trail's starting off as a paved, wide pathway. There was no bathroom, so for guys, maybe not the end of the world, but for the ladies, different story. After the water tower, it's no longer a paved pathway. The pathway turns to like stone and dirt. Gets a little bit more wild. 2 minutes into the hike and you already get a view of the east side of the island, and you can see the water over there. As you're walking up the trail, you'll notice these little pathways on the sides here, and they've all got nice little viewpoints you can check out as you go along. This must be the tower up here on the hill that we're heading towards. And that looks like where it starts getting really steep probably. I don't think it was raining. It could have sprinkled a bit, I guess, but I didn't see any rain last night. And as you can see, some of the trail does have mud, so be prepared to get your shoes dirty. I read online that they had ropes to help in some of the steeper areas, and they've got one here, even though it's not very steep, but I'd imagine it's because, probably because this trail gets washed out with mud and you lose traction, so probably to help in that scenario. There's an interesting kind of sweet but rotten smell up here. It's not extremely powerful, but I think it's from these little guys. If anybody knows what these are, let me know in the comments. Some type of fruit that's falling from the trees, getting squished by the hikers, and probably kind of fermenting in the sun a little bit, rotting in the sun. This tree looks very similar to an arbutus tree. The bark is just like this thin layer that's peeling off, and it's everywhere here. Got more research to do. And you can see, I think this is the tree that has all the fruits on it. As you can see, the ground here is just littered with them. And I've also seen two little bushes, one with like black berries and another with these little bluish purple flowers. So I'm calling all you specialist Hawaiian flora experts to tell me what I'm looking at here. Please let me know. So just about 30 minutes, I think it's been 35 minutes, but we've been stopping. About 30 minutes into the hike, you reach your first set of stairs. And so this is probably the steep section up to the summit. Be sure to look back on occasion. Not that you won't see it on your way down, but the views behind you on the way up are also quite nice. So as you can see, a lot of these steps are kind of washed out, probably from all of the rain. You can see the summit on the right side up here, just up in this area. So we're getting closer. Some up and down sections. You can definitely see at the very top there, it's quite steep, and that's the section that I've read online is the toughest. So let's continue. So about 40 minutes in, there's up and down sections throughout the whole hike. Nothing has been too crazy so far. And I've got a bad knee, so if I can do it, most people can probably manage. The scene to the right and left is just amazing, all right? Because you're walking on a ridge, so you have valleys and peaks all around you, ocean view on both sides. Just beautiful. Tons of foliage. There is a little bit less coverage up here than there was down below, so it's feeling a bit warmer right now. Definitely bring some sunscreen. I actually forgot to bring bug spray, but haven't felt any mosquitoes or anything, so not to say that that doesn't change at different times of the year, I'm not sure. It's so interesting because on the hike up on your right side, it's kind of a darker scene with like darker foliage. Some really interesting trees down here in the middle. But on the left side, it's super vibrant green and different flora. So about 50 minutes in, 55 minutes maybe, with all the stopping. And looks like this is where it's going to start getting a bit steeper. So you can see the peak is just up here. So this is where the trail has started getting a bit more washed out. It'll definitely be a bit more sketchy after a rainfall. The ground's already a little bit slick and it wasn't even raining, so there's definitely some steps that are spaced a little bit far apart. Might have to do a little bit of scrambling, put your hands down if necessary.
Hard working every day, I'm stressed out 24/7, babe. No timeouts, wish we could fly away. You and I go to our favorite place. Oh yeah, make special memories together. I'll be your company now and forever. I say we fly away, you and me, go to our favorite place. Feeling the sun on my face in Hawaii. With you, Hawaii. With you, Hawaii.
And here you can see Waikiki. All the skyscrapers in the background. All the way to the airport just over here. And then up the western coast. And on this side is where we were yesterday, so this area here would be Kailua, if I'm not mistaken. Those two little islands out there are just in front of Lanikai Beach. So you can really see everything here. Just beautiful. Luscious green forests. Amazing landscape.
Yeah, we're going away, you and me. Feeling the sun on my face in Hawaii.
We're just getting back down to the parking area now. It's 12:30, so the way back down was a little bit faster. I believe it was, what time was it? 11:20 when I was at the top, so about an hour, 25 minutes up, and what's that mean? An hour and 10 minutes on the way down. And again, that's with some stops. Stops for pictures, water breaks, stuff like that, so. Nice hike, good way to start the day. Knees are a little bit sore on the way down, but in general, not so bad at all. Definitely recommend it. Again, this is a Friday, late November, so there's not a ton of people. I think maybe we passed 15 people up and down, so there's parking spots here. Again, that could be different on a weekend, that could be different in summer, but for this time of the year, found it wasn't too busy at all, so really enjoyed it. We're going to go down now, find a place to eat, some lunch, and then explore the south to southeast end of the island again, and hopefully find a nice little beach and take a dip. So let's go. So on the way back down, you just drop your trail pass in the mailbox here, and you're on your way out of the gated community. So we just came down the hill from where the hike is to Kahala Mall, it's called. There's a Whole Foods here, and usually Whole Foods is good for some healthy pre-made food options, so we are hoping to find some lunch here. Let's go check it out.
As usual, I went straight to the fruit section, only to be a bit disappointed once again by the limited selection of tropical fruits. They did have papayas though, so we picked up a few for breakfast. Overall, the store felt very similar to any Whole Foods you'd find in Canada. The seafood and meat selection was solid, and they offered a salad bar with hot food options, priced by weight, which can add up quickly. The best value we found was the chef's plate, a cold meal option with your choice of protein and 2 sides, priced at $13, or $15 if you choose seafood. It's a great grab-and-go option if you're looking for something healthy and affordable.
Very cute. So we ended up going with shrimp, green beans, and some, I think they're maple pecan sweet potatoes. And then on this side we've got grilled salmon, a mix of grilled mushrooms, and some Brussels sprouts. So really nice. These combination dishes are $15 each because they were seafood, so with tax it's just over $30. And looks amazing, looks fresh, looks good. We're gonna dig in.
After lunch, we continued exploring parts of the island we hadn't yet seen, following the coast counterclockwise around the southeast corner towards Waimanalo Beach. Along the way, there are a few scenic pullouts where you can stop to take in sweeping views of the coastline, and if you're lucky, you might catch paragliders drifting overhead. Like several spots on the island, the first parking lot at Waimanalo does have some visible transient activity, but if you drive just a bit further, there's another lot where it's much quieter. The beach itself is wide, peaceful, and relatively clean, though we did notice some microplastic debris along the shore. With overcast skies and a bit of wind chill, typical of the island's eastern side, we skipped swimming this time, but still enjoyed relaxing on the sand before taking a sunset drive back to Waikiki.
It's almost 9 in the morning on Saturday. We're at the KCC Farmers Market. Parking's free. The lots are huge. They're very busy. There's a lot of cars here. It's supposed to be a good popular market, a little bit more expensive from what we heard from some other vlogs online. So let's go check it out.
The KCC Farmers Market had fewer vendors compared to the Aloha Stadium swap meet, but the offerings were noticeably different. Here, the focus was less on souvenirs and more on fresh food, flowers, locally grown vegetables, and tropical fruits, giving it more of a farmer's market feel than a flea market. While the Aloha Stadium Market runs Wednesdays, Saturdays, and Sundays, with some vendors skipping Sunday, the KCC Market is only open on Saturday mornings from 7:30 to 11. So if you're hoping to visit both, the best plan is to check out the Aloha Stadium midweek and save Saturday morning for KCC. Our next stop was the Ho'omaluhia Botanical Garden, a 400-acre tropical paradise nestled at the base of the Kualoa Mountains. The name means to make a place of peace, and the garden lives up to it, featuring walking paths, a tranquil lake, and an incredible variety of plants from Hawaii and around the world. There's a gated entrance where staff share the garden rules, but admission is completely free.
There are some mosquitoes in here. I got maybe a couple little bites when we first came in. Kate got about 15, so if you're worried about that, bring some bug spray. We brought bug spray from Canada, some nice all-natural stuff, and then we just left it in the hotel room. Kate spotted these little plants again. We saw these when we were in Indonesia last year. I don't know what the proper name is. She says she calls them a shy plant because when you touch them, they close up.
Everywhere we go there's these snails, giant snails. And actually here there's two and they're connected. So that must be how they mate. Keep the cycle going, guys.
Washed in every shade of green in all the colors. Summer love. Remember the lazy river day canoe, bathing in the turquoise blue, losing track of time with you.
So essentially there's a few different parking areas as you drive into the botanical garden. So you can park in one area, go check out the landscape around there. They have a few trails. Get back in your car, you drive again up the road a little bit. There's another parking area, campsite. You can park there, check out that spot, and so on and so forth. So we're not gonna take 2 hours here. We're gonna continue our journey and go get some lunch and maybe enjoy a little bit of the beach. So this morning we just took it easy. We went to the Fort Dressy Beach Park. It was really nice. Good area actually. The water was a little bit more clear than it was before. There were some sea turtles there. It's a good spot because there's a bit of a reef that makes swimming manageable, but you can also snorkel a little bit because of the corals. And now we're going for lunch to grab some seafood, maybe some shaved ice, and then figure something else out.
Lunch today was at Paia Fish Market, a spot we had noticed earlier in the week for its steady crowd. It's located right on the corner of Nohonani and Kuhio and offers a solid selection of seafood at prices that are pretty reasonable for Waikiki. You place your order at the counter and then choose a table and wait for your food to be brought out.
So this is the mahi-mahi with rice and potato, and they come with coleslaw. That's nice that you got like real potatoes.
Yeah.
And then this is the calamari, French fries and coleslaw. And this was $40, give or take. 17 for this, 23 for this, I think. So after eating at Paia, we just went right around the corner to try out shaved ice. We got the large portion of strawberry. It was just over $16, so quite expensive. And it was okay, it was good, it was refreshing. They say they make it with real fruit. Probably they add some sugar. It's just sorbet that they shave lightly into a bowl and charge you an enormous price for. But on a hot day, it could be nice. We are now at the Waikele Premium Outlets, if I'm pronouncing that properly. Sorry if I'm not. Anyways, outlet shopping center. Just kind of compare what the prices are like here.
I'm not much of a retail shopper, but if you're looking for something specific from the brands located here, it might be worth a visit. There are usually some discounted items to be found. Overall, the shopping center itself wasn't particularly exciting in my opinion, but the Rip Curl store stood out. They had rows of discounted board shorts, with some pairs marked as low as $15, a fraction of what you'd pay at other retailers. I ended up grabbing 2 pairs myself, which made the trip out there worthwhile.
We are driving up to the north side of the island today. Pretty much just farmland all around us. We are going to Hale'iwa, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. There's supposed to be a surf competition up there, so I got my big camera and hoping to get some photos. The drive up is nice, farmland everywhere, green, a little bit different feeling than the southeast, but still very green. I'm at Haleiwa or Haleiwa Beach Park on the north shore of Oahu. There's a surf competition starting today, the HIC surf competition I believe it is, and I'm here with my big camera, just hoping to get some good photographs. If I do, you'll find those on my Instagram page, so you can find the link through my profile, or maybe I'll post it below if you want to check those out. But anyways, beautiful day. We're going to spend a couple hours here probably, enjoy the surfing, and maybe head over to Pipeline afterwards, maybe explore the town up here. I think we're going to spend the next few days exploring the north, so should be nice.
Haleiwa is a laid-back surf town on Oahu's North Shore, known for its historic charm, colorful storefronts, and strong ties to surf culture. It has a relaxed, artsy vibe, with a mix of boutique shops, art galleries, and local eateries that give it a distinctly different feel from Waikiki. Whether you're here for shaved ice, to browse handmade goods, or just to take in the small-town atmosphere, Haleiwa offers a great taste of the island's slower, more local side. One of the town's biggest draws is its famous food truck scene, especially spots like Giovanni's Shrimp Truck, known for their garlic fried shrimp. The area around the trucks can get pretty busy and parking is limited, plus there's usually a small fee. However, if you head just a bit further up the road to the North Shore Marketplace, there's free parking available. While it's technically intended for shoppers in that plaza, it's close enough that you could probably sneak away for a quick visit to other places without any issue.
So right now I'm at the Banzai Pipeline. I'm not a surfer, but even I've heard of it, so if anybody has any idea about surfing, I'm sure you know the area. It's on the north shore of Hawaii. The waves here are supposed to be just huge in the winter, especially I think December, January if I'm not mistaken. Anyways, they look pretty big right now. So again, gonna grab some shots with my big camera. and just enjoy. Right behind me they have even like housing for professional surfers, so like they have the Volcom house right behind me, and I think just a few doors down is the Billabong house as well. So anyways, gonna put this camera away and try and get some photography. Spend an hour or so here, and then maybe head around the northeast side of the island just to explore a bit more. Another beautiful day, what can I say? Hawaii is amazing. Every day feels good here.
On the way back to Waikiki, we made a quick stop at the Dole Plantation, a popular tourist trap centered entirely around pineapples. Inside, there's a large gift shop filled with pineapple-themed souvenirs and products. And outside, visitors can take a ride on the pineapple train or try to navigate what's claimed to be the world's largest maze. We had originally planned to try their pineapple ice cream, but after finding out it's unnecessarily made with artificial flavoring and added sugars, we decided to skip it. Instead, we picked up a fresh pineapple to enjoy later, a much better way to experience the real thing. The next day, our journey continued, this time heading up the northeastern coast of the island in search of scenic views and hidden beaches. Our first few stops were a bit underwhelming, but we kept going, hopeful for something unexpected. Soon after, we came across a macadamia nut farm and decided to pull in, hoping to find some reasonably priced nuts. Inside, there was a gift shop offering a variety of souvenirs and flavored macadamia nuts which you could sample for free. Unfortunately, the packaged products were far from budget friendly. Before heading out, we wandered to the back of the property where you can crack open fresh macadamia nuts yourself and feed some to the chickens that are roaming around. A small, quirky highlight of the stop.
The next little stop along the way is the Kualoa Ranch or Beach Ranch. What was it called, Kate?
I don't remember.
Kualoa something. Anyways, it's just funny because it's just up the street from that macadamia farm. And right now there's macadamias falling out of trees right above me. So if you want to, you can come here and grab them off the ground and just roast them. I think you have to roast them. But anyways, free macadamia nuts here or $20 a bag over there.
As we made our way back up the coast, we passed a number of small, quiet beaches. Clear blue water, no crowds, and plenty of spots that looked worth checking out. We pulled over a couple of times to take in the view. At one point, Kate even spotted an endangered Hawaiian monk seal out on the sand. A rare sight to see and a nice surprise along the way. Need a bathroom break? No problem. There's another marketplace near the Polynesian Cultural Center as you reach the northeastern corner of the island. But if you're getting hungry, I'd recommend holding off for just a bit longer. There's a better food stop coming up.
We're just approaching the most northern kind of northeast tip of the island here. We're in an area called Kahuku, and tons and tons of food trucks. No shortage of food trucks at all in general, all around Hawaii. But this is another like large gathering point. Many of the same names that you see on the North Shore area around Haleiwa Beach, like Giovanni's food truck, Seven Brothers, stuff like that. So, but it looks like there's even more to choose from. So we're gonna poke around here and probably eat some lunch here before continuing. Let's go. Up here, we found a little hidden gem called Raised by Waves, and it's all like plant-based food. And I've been eating some greasy stuff, I guess, the last few days, so it was nice to get some clean food. Definitely recommend it if you're in the area. Raised by Waves. It's kind of hidden in the back by the food trucks, but I mean, you'll find it. We had a salad and some quesadillas, which were both really tasty and can definitely recommend them. But to be honest, everything on the menu looked pretty good, so check it out if you're in the area. We are now at Turtle Bay Beach, Turtle something. up here on the northeast corner. It ends up turning into a bunch of hotels actually. I think it's the Ritz-Carlton, and they have one area behind me that's like a large beach area, but maybe a little bit wavy. It's not terrible, but like a little bit of rough water, I guess. And then just in front of me here by the hotel is like a little bay area that's kind of protected by some reef. So there's 3,000 people in the water snorkeling. Probably a good spot if you have kids. I think Kate might go for a dip, get refreshed, and then we'll continue on. We are just driving up the northwest of the island. It's the only point that we haven't been around yet. So we're almost at the end of the road here. It's a lot more quiet, less touristy feeling. A lot of nice beach, coastline, and mountainous landscape on the other side. There's also, we passed a airport where you can do skydiving if you're into it. And we just also passed a YMCA camp, and they had a cool sky obstacle type course set up probably for the kids, and looked like a fun time for the little ones. It'd be a fun time for me too, probably. Anyways, whoop. Yeah, just beach everywhere. I'd say all of the island is just one giant beach park. As you drive around, they show you all these little beach parks, but the whole island is just a beach park. So you can find your own little space if you want to get away from people, or stick to the touristy areas if you want to have a little bit more energy and food options nearby. So this is it. This is the end of the road on the northeast side of Oahu. There's a little parking area here, waves rolling in, very rocky coastline, but picturesque. So there's trails that take you around the western tip of the island. There's actually, you can't drive around, right? So we're right here where the road ends. And when we went up the west side of the island, we only went up to this area up here. So it looks like if you want to see the rest of this tip, you can hike it for a few kilometers. So if you have the time, that'd be a nice option. 2.7 mile long trail. You're welcome to hike or bike. No dogs, no drones, no fires.
On Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, you can catch a free hula show at the Queen's Court, located inside the International Marketplace in Waikiki. Between shows, the performers share a bit of the marketplace's history. It's part entertainment and part promotion. Showtimes vary depending on the season, so it's best to check their website for up-to-date info. And when you're done with the show, you can head over for some cat therapy at the shopping center's Cat Cafe.
I just wanted to take 2 minutes to recommend a couple products that I am not affiliated with. These are just something that I bought for myself, and I think they're great. So I brought my own snorkel and mask when I came here. Same ones I've been using for my last several trips. I just bought some Cressy goggles and a snorkel, and I picked those up. They were discounted on Amazon. I can't even remember what I paid now. It was a good price though, and they probably don't even have the same model, but in general I would recommend bringing at least those items with you if you're coming anywhere where the water's nice, because there's a lot of snorkeling to do. There's a lot of fish to see, especially here in Hawaii. there's a lot of sea turtles. Almost at every beach we've gone to, I've been able to swim with sea turtles. So definitely recommended to bring a set of those. If you don't, there are shops around where you can buy them. There's places that rent them. The rentals don't look like the best quality. These were inexpensive. I would imagine you could buy a set for near this price, for near the price that you would rent, and it would be much better quality. And if you spend a little bit extra, for sure better quality. I did, however, forget my fins in Greece when I was there last year, so I wanted to buy a new pair, and I started doing a bit of reading, and I found this brand is quite popular all over Hawaii, California. It's called Dafin, D-A-F-I-N, and they're actually the same fins that all the lifeguards use here in Hawaii. They're really small and compact, and they're really stiff, and they create a lot of propulsion really easily. I'd say they're the fastest fin I've ever tried. My last ones were probably this big, and I got them at Mountain Equipment Co-op, and they did the trick. They were cheap, came in a set. These are a little bit more expensive. I spent $65 US on these. Depending on where you find them, I think they can range from 65 to 75. I got these from a little shop in the Outrigger Hotel, and it's called Local Motion, if I'm not mistaken. Anyways, they had them for $65 plus tax. They ended up giving me a 10% discount. Maybe it was just feeling friendly that day, and so I only paid $65 for them. They're made out of natural rubber, I believe, from Malaysia, and yeah, really happy with those. I've been using them for the last week, and so I can definitely recommend them. I'd also say they're extremely comfortable. There is a trick to putting them on. So I read a lot of reviews before I bought these, and some people, I saw a picture where like somebody had broken the rubber strap. So when you're putting them on, you don't just want to like grab this and pull your foot on. You actually just fold this part down, you put your foot in the end, and you just grab the tip of the fin and just shove your foot all the way in. Once it's in, then you can just grab this and put it around the back of your heel. It's super easy. They're very comfortable inside. And yeah, definitely recommend those fins if you're in the market for new fins when you're here. Plus they're so small that they fit easily in almost every backpack, I would say. So happy with that purchase for sure. If I can find some of these items online, I'll place a link in the description. If it's an Amazon link and you purchase through it, I may get a small commission. It wouldn't cost anything extra for you guys, but I might make a few cents and get some motivation to keep making content like this. So if you're enjoying it and you want to support the channel, then feel free to make a purchase through one of those links. But I definitely always recommend searching around for the best price and going with what the best option is for you. Just want to take a second to show you guys these trees back here. I love these trees. I believe they're a banyan tree, and the structure of them is just crazy. Basically, as the branches grow out, they drop these, like, they look like vines. I don't know what the proper terminology would be, but they start dangling down, and in the beginning they're kind of like tiny and flimsy, but as the tree grows, they become like solid, like another trunk system. They grow all the way down to the ground, and they start rooting into the ground from there as well, I believe, and at the same time creating a support for this giant branch as it grows out further and further. So very cool trees. And I also, behind me, you can see chickens. So all over Hawaii there are wild chickens. Healthiest looking chickens I've ever seen. Like their feathers and everything, like they just look perfect. They're everywhere, all over Hawaii. Chickens, roosters. There can even be multiple roosters near each other, which is interesting because I always thought that they never got along. But here they're just wild. They are all over the place, and they look happy. Tomorrow's actually our last day here, and today we were just walking by the port for the first time, and a little bit shocked how disgusting it is. It's just full of trash. The water is just full of trash in between all the boats. Obviously this is a problem with tourism and littering and garbage making its way into the water. Maybe they have certain times where people come by and clean up, but it looks a little bit out of hand. You'd think that they'd stay on top of it a little bit more.
We had seen massive lines outside of a place called Marugame Udon every day, so we finally decided to see what all the hype was about and try it out for dinner. I'm not sure that I fully understood the menu, but the concept is straightforward. They make their own noodles fresh in-house, and you move down the line picking your choice of broth, toppings, and sides. Prices vary depending on what you've added. It's not a fancy spot by any means, but if you're after a quick, affordable Asian comfort food, it hits the mark. Once you're done eating, you drop off your tray and head out the back door, making room for the next person in line.
I didn't take a proper video of the hotel when we arrived, so I'm doing it as we leave. So the room's messy, but you get an idea of what this room looks like. All the rooms in this hotel are a little bit different. I think they're kind of going through renovations right now. So some of them have tubs, other ones have walk-in showers. Some of the rooms are smaller. The views are different, so.
We stayed at Le Croix Hotel, one of the many older buildings in Waikiki that's been updated over the years. Despite its age, the hotel is well maintained, with thoughtful upgrades that make it a comfortable and convenient place to stay. Overall, we were really happy with our experience. The staff were especially friendly, and there's a small convenience store right outside the entrance if you need anything on the go. There's also a computer in the lobby available for guest use. One small feature that we really appreciated was the filtered water station. The water tasted great, and we used it multiple times a day to refill our water bottles.
The next thing I want to talk about is the parking and car rental situation here in Waikiki. We wasted an entire day dealing with it. Kind of our fault because we did everything last minute when we're here, but I have some information to share with you. It can help maybe speed along your trip. So let's talk about the car rental first.
To quickly sum up this part of the video, double check your car rental details before and after finalizing your booking. One company named 6T changed our pickup and drop-off locations after we had already paid. We canceled with them and decided to go with Budget, who also increased our total from $500 to over $2,000 after checking out. I lost half a day dealing with customer service to fix things, so I highly recommend locking in your rental before arriving in Hawaii. In the end, we went with Budget after they corrected the pricing issue. Pickup and drop-off were fast, but some of the airport staff were less than friendly to say the least. I also recommend checking multiple websites as pricing varied drastically depending on where we looked.
And then let's talk about parking in Waikiki. So parking is hard to come by. Everything is pay parking. Generally, like certain hotels will have valet parking, and I would say the average price of parking is $45 US per night. So not cheap. There are places that are a little bit cheaper, and then there's some that are even more. So you want to read into it. We spent several hours again researching, calling around, trying to talk with people. A lot of places even that offer this overnight parking for $45. That's only if you go and you park in the evening and you take it out in the morning. If you want to have in and out parking where you're allowed to like come and go from the parkade as you please, they don't allow it, or they charge you even more. So you really got to look into it. A lot of people were not friendly. A lot of places didn't answer the phone. A lot of places have bad reviews. A lot of places aren't covered parking. A lot of places aren't in a good location. So you really want to check around. We ended up going to check out this place right near the hotel at Fort Durasi Beach Park. We saw that they had an outdoor parking lot that we had walked through before. The area is very nice. Seems clean, seems calm, seems safe. So we walked over just to check it out and see if we could get some more information. Because a lot of the prices that you see online are from a year ago and they've increased. So if you see some reviews and somebody's posted a picture and it says $20 a night or something, I'm almost positive that's changed for you, so you want to look into it. So anyways, we came to this parking lot, we found a couple workers, they explained everything to us. It is $45 a day here as well at this time. This is late November 2024, and but they also offer a monthly pass, and the monthly pass is $225 US with a $10 administrative fee, so $235 for a month of parking. So even if you're here for a week, again, it only ends up being 30 some odd dollars. It's a safe area and very spacious, so I've never had a problem trying to find parking. If you're here for longer than a week, for sure the best deal. If you're staying on the west side of Waikiki, this is the place to go. Not only did they have the outdoor parking lot, but just over on the other side they have an indoor parking lot as well, with 3 layers, 3 floors of parking. A lot of it's covered, some of it's uncovered, and there's always somebody on duty there. So basically you pay, you get a little plastic swipe card, and you can use either the outdoor parking lot or the indoor parking lot. It's up to you. You just pull in, you swipe your card, the gate opens, you go in, you park, and you're done. You come and go as you please. The in and out doesn't cost you anything extra. And like I said, the location is just amazing. So we really like this area on the west side, actually. To walk to the main strip, everything's, 10, 15, 20. You can get to the other end of Waikiki in 30 minutes. There's a lot of shopping around here, so we're happy with this location. Our hotel was in this location, and I would 100% recommend the Fort Durasi Beach parking. Save yourself the hassle, especially if you're within a 5-10 minute walk of this parking. That's where I would go. Yeah, that's about it. Sorry this is a bit boring. This is an exciting talk, but hopefully it saves you guys a little bit of time, because like I said, all the research and everything, and the walking around and the calling and reading reviews and stuff like that, it wastes time. So hopefully this helps you out, and that'll be half a day more that you can spend at the beach instead of dealing with parking. So yeah, on that note, to get this parking pass, you cannot go to the outdoor parking lot. You need to go to the covered parking lot. That's where the office is, and that's where you can purchase the pass. You will need a driver's license and a credit card. I believe they're there until 6 p.m. Don't take my word for that, but I believe it's 6. It could be 8, but I think at least 6. If you want to find that covered parking easily, you can Google the Asia Pacific School for Security, I believe it's called. And that building is right next door. So if you put that in your GPS, it's going to take you right to this covered parking lot. So hope that helps you guys. I'm off to the beach. See you guys later.